The Vice President Mohammed Jalo said Wednesday's tour is the second, adding the first was meant to gauge the level of preparedness ahead of the commencement of the rains. Vice President Jalo said after the first tour, the Disaster Management Council met and gave directives and recommendations. As a result, VP Jalo continued funds were made available for the National Disaster Management Agency to intervene and act accordingly to prevent floods. VP Jalo said he is glad that work is in progress, adding he is hopeful there would be no floods this year.
The purpose of this visit was actually to look at how far work has been done, and we are glad that in many areas work is in progress. That particularly we just last saw the bond polder where the machines are working. We started from Jabang area where NRA actually sort of like constructing some water retainers, which hopefully that will solve the issue of Jabang. So here we see that in this place, unless this is cleared, probably there might be some issues. But we are hopeful that before the next rains, it will be cleared. So we think that everything is on track. This time around, we don't expect floods in Banjul and environs.
The Minister of the Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Rohi John Manjang, called for concerted efforts to solve the problem of flooding. The Environment Minister called on the public to stop the indiscriminate dumping of waste, adding it is a major problem that hampers efforts to guard against floods.
Like in the case of JESHWANG, FAROKONO, we've seen that His Excellency has directed that we look into a comprehensive drainage system and also sewage system, because the area seems to be a little bit complex. People also need to take responsibility. We have seen most of the issues, it's also blockage of the drainage systems. And that is done by people who are living there. So we have been meant to understand that this is the main water source that empties to the sea. So if the main water source is blocked, so definitely you expect water to go back to the neighborhood. And that is exactly what we witnessed last year. If this is not solved, we are not getting any solution for Banjul. We have to make sure that either the garage is moved, or at least we see how best to push them back so that they can give space to the water so that it can move out.
The Deputy Director, National Roads Authority, Suleiman Sumare Jane, said measures have been put in place to prevent flooding. He said the intervention started at Jabang Estate, where significant success has been registered.
His Excellency, the Vice President, has directed us. He wants us to come up with mitigating issues or mitigating factors that will help alleviate all the flooding in Banjul and the greater Banjul areas. But it's also good that His Excellency, the Vice President, is here to see for himself so that he can validate all the reports that we have been giving him, and also empower us to be able to exercise effective control measures that would help alleviate the flooding issues.
The Minister of Information, Lamin Queen Jame, urged the public, especially those living in flood-prone areas, to rest assured, for the situation is under control.
The public should be assured of a safe time and safe environment as far as floods are concerned. The state of readiness is up to the mark, and there is no doubt that we are hopeful that everything would be all right.
The tour of hotspots and the preventive measures aimed at preventing or mitigating the effects of flooding are expected to prevent a repeat of the flash floods that were experienced last year. NJIE, AJAYI, GRTS News.